Hello, welcome to another nutrition video. I'm Zak Lyon, and I make these videos about food, diet, nutrition, and supplements and whatnot to help people who are attempting to achieve their health outcomes and need some information or inspiration about how to go about doing that. So in this video, I want to talk about rosemary and other culinary herbs that actually have quite powerful health benefits for us humans. My understanding of it is that these plants that taste good to us, like pepper, like allspice and coriander and ginger, develop these compounds, many of these compounds, to protect themselves against pests. And not sure how, but turns out a lot of these compounds are also healthy for us, humans. I find that very soothing and quite harmonious that these plants are protecting themselves and in turn creating these miraculous compounds that we can use as humans to improve our health. So I've got 5 articles or studies. Well, 4 studies, and it looks like one's actually a chapter from a textbook. And I'd like to start here with this one. It's called Bioavailability of Herbs and Spices in Humans as Determined by Ex Vivo Inflammatory Suppression and DNA Strand Breaks. And I'm pretty sure, I think I remember that all this means is they're looking at the inflammatory markers and DNA strand breaks in blood serum. So they take a person's blood out and determine it that way. And so this was a good study, and I have it here first because it focuses on the bioavailability of these compounds in humans. And why that's important is because a lot of these, and it's kind of this issue or thing that we need to address in this area of research, that a lot of the research is in vitro. So in petri dishes and test tubes and whatnot. And not as much information about these compounds inside humans. Because one of the things is that a lot of these, for example, phenols, we're not sure exactly where their end target cell necessarily is, or if it has, or where its effects are from ingestion through use. We're not entirely sure where a lot of these compounds have their antioxidant or health promoting effects, but we are beginning to more and more, and I find it very interesting that there's a large degree of uncertainty about the food we eat and these compounds, and I find that very cool that there's a lot more room for us there to learn a lot. Okay, so I've got a quote here from this article: herbs and spices that protected PBMCs against DNA strand breaks were paprika, rosemary, ginger, heat-treated turmeric, so just turmeric that's been cooked, sage, and cumin. Clove, ginger, rosemary, and turmeric were able to significantly reduce oxidized LDL-induced expression of this TNF alpha, which tumor necrosis factor alpha, which is a dang it, I knew what this was, but it is a I thought it was a protein that I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry. Cell signaling protein involved in systemic inflammation and is one of the cytokines that makes up the acute phase reaction. I don't know what that is, but these herbs reduced the expression of this protein. Next here, paprika also appeared to protect cells from normal apoptic processes. So what it's saying here is paprika seems to protect cells against normal cell death. And I don't know if that is referring to the longevity of the cell or the actual health of it or what. But so that's a pretty good study. This next one here is it's actually a chapter from a textbook, and it's great. It goes through allspice, basil, caraway, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, coriander, dill, garlic, ginger, rosemary, saffron, and thyme. All of these are delicious herbs, and all of them appear to have significant health benefits to humans. Allspice is claimed to possess antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, antipyretic, anti-cancer, and anti-tumorigenic properties. Allspice contains a multitude of potential bioactive agents that may contribute to health promotion, including flavonoids, phenolic acids, catechins, and several phenylpropanoids. Basil. Basil's antioxidant, anti-mutagenic, anti-tumorigenic, antiviral, and antibacterial properties likely arise from a variety of compounds, including linalool, 1,8-cineol, estragol, and eugenol. This eugenol appears in a number of different spices and is believed in many different studies to be quite powerful as an antioxidant. Both ethanol and aqueous extracts of basil increased MGMT protein levels, which is DNA methyltransferase. This is good. This is DNA protection, is what I'm remembering. So compared to the control, basil increased glutathione transferase protein activity. Glutathione I've talked about before, and glutathione is a powerful antioxidant in the body. And it appears like basil increases the enzymatic these enzymes, these proteins that go into kind of the production and use of glutathione. Article number 3 here is called Carnosol, a component of rosemary, protects nigroldopaminergic neuronal cells. This article was talking about the potential of carnosol, rosemary, to protect against Parkinson's. Carnosol, a major component of rosemary, is a phenolic diterpene. These terpenes are popular phytochemicals lately that has potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activities. This fourth article here is called Chemical Genoprotection, reducing biological damage to as low as reasonably achievable levels. The aim of this study was to evaluate the antioxidant substances present in the human diet with an anti-mutagenic protective capacity against genotoxic damage induced by exposure to X-rays in an attempt to reduce biological damage to as low a level as reasonably possible. What they did here was give people either, I think it was herb powders, and the control group, received placebo or something or nothing, and then gave these people X-rays and measured their the DNA damage. I think through blood serum. I'm not sure. I've got the link here. It'll be in the notes or up on my website in the blog, kind of linked to this video. Yeah, so that one is that was that. Number 5, radioprotective anti-mutagenic effects of rosemary phenolics against chromosomal damage induced in human lymphocytes by gamma rays. So this study used gamma rays instead of X-rays, and quote, the radioprotective effects of carnosic acid, carnosol, and rosmarinic acid against chromosomal damage induced by gamma rays. That quote is describing the kind of the aim of the study, or what they were looking at. Furthermore, the results for treatments before and after gamma ray irradiation suggests the existence of different radioprotective mechanisms in each case. And what they're talking about here is these different chemicals that appear in rosemary, carnosic acid, carnosol, and rosmarinic acid. This is an interesting point, and I like this that they said this. There are so many different chemicals and these type of antioxidant compounds in plants that we're just scratching the surface. There are some that we haven't even discovered yet, and that's a fact. And then even the ones that we have discovered, like I mentioned earlier, we're not entirely sure all of their effects, or even some of their targets areas in the body. And what's interesting here is that, quote, these chemicals suggest the existence of, this study suggests the existence of different radioprotective mechanisms in each case. And so what I like here is this multiple-pronged approach or perspective look at radioprotective mechanisms. So there's a lot. There's so many different ways the body protects against radioprotective, gamma rays, X-rays. And it's interesting to that what we are beginning to find out more about is the different mechanisms in the body that protect the body. And the more we find out about that, and the deeper we dig, and the more we get into that, it's just going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting to see what we start coming up with. So that's it. Those are the kind of all the studies I wanted to go over. But I mentioned a bunch of spices. But the point here is cook your food with spices. Or if you're like me, go grab a jar of ground sage from the grocery store, and every night before you go to bed, take a quarter teaspoon or half teaspoon in some water. If you don't want to do that, do cayenne pepper. I like doing that too. If not that, do gosh, what were some other ones? Ginger. Eat some raw ginger. Make ginger tea. With a little honey, turmeric. I don't like cooking with turmeric. It's just not like my favorite flavor, but I take it as a supplement, and I eat it as a supplement. I take the kind of curcumin extract supplement, and then I take ground turmeric as a supplement. Or you can buy raw turmeric and make sure you're eating it with black pepper to make sure that the bioavailability of the turmeric is adequate. Black pepper, another spice that I didn't really get into here, appears to help the absorption of every other supplement and antioxidant out there. It's this cool. It has this compound in it. I'm forgetting the name of it. That improves the bioavailability of so many things, and one of those being particularly is turmeric. So, if you're looking for more ideas, I've got recipes and stuff on my blog. I know I've got an article about phenols, polyphenols on the blog, and I think I've got some good ideas in there too. So, yeah, just cook with spices whenever you can for health benefits that we've yet to discover. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm not sure what the next one will be, but it should be interesting. Thanks for watching. See ya.